In case you haven't already heard about it, or if you just woke up from a coma, Disney Infinity is out in the wild, kicking ass, taking names, allowing us mortals to make some games. And to be brutally honest with you, it ain't perfect. There are the glitches, yes, but besides them, there are the things you can do are amazing. The things you can't do are so disappointing you may as well be watching a Let's Play from
Misa Jar Jar after all!
No! Up here! Nice touch with your presence being the joke, eh? Still gotta kick you out though. Freshman! You threw off my groove! I'm sorry, but you've thrown off the rank guy's groove. As I was saying, the greatest thing about Disney Infinity is that you can refine every great idea that you've got in your head with the push of a button. I intend to get you guys to add more fuel to the fire. I know that Disney will keep growing this thing as long as we are able to imagine. I'm just here to make like genitalia and expose my ideas to my underage viewers over in Utah, so excuse my manners if I make a scene. So here are my top 7 ideas to improve Disney Infinity. It's juice and jam time. The purpose of The Wasteland from Epic Mickey and its sequels is to deliver a home to the forgotten characters and unused concepts. I hope to see this pattern implemented again in Disney Infinity in terms of the unused characters that never made it to the screen. Senorita Cactus from Toy Story 2 comes to mind, as well as those 4 other fairies from Sleeping Beauty. The list goes on, literally. You can scan the DVDs and Blu-ray special features for the galleries. I'm sure you'll find plenty of ideas. After all, the interactive division is now contractually obligated to crank out a few characters each year. It is up to you to develop new characters like plot work. More on that later. You've gotten your ass stuck on a mission, and you've gotten more money than you know what to do with in a playset. Money does not carry over into the toy box, leaving with this horrible abomination to collect toys to our heart's content, the Toy Vault. In Disney Infinity, one of the great things that makes it a one-off case is that it isn't the figurines that level up. That honor goes to you, sir. You gain tokens for the Toy Vault with each level you climb, spinning aimlessly with no rhyme or reason, hoping that you get the right toy for the job. A toy store in the toy box would be a help. You are free to keep the Toy Vault around as a means to get some of the available toys, and even a few exclusive toys for absolutely free. We can have red toy capsules add funds to your piggy bank, and we can tally up the money you send from the playsets in there as well as allocate funds to the playsets. Trust me, you're going to need them if there are any toys left to purchase in the playsets, in case you finally get past that final mission that unlocks the last toy, which is totally impossible at that point, and it's too late to complete the damn mission that unlocks the train engine you need in order to complete the damn thing! I'm sorry. I just snapped. It was unprofessional of me, it's just that I fucking hate Biodome. You know limited functionality sucks when your version of the Extreme Arena from Nickelodeon gets his music from Cinderella in it. I know it saved the D-Man's ass and kept the always vital animation studio afloat, I get it already, Animat doesn't have to tell me twice. But would it slag you to cook up a creativitoy to liberate us from that problem? And for that matter, why not turn those playset elements you find in playsets into creativitoys themselves? I would sure as hell like to attach a challenge to one of my toy box worlds for my online friends to see if they can collect as many collectibles as they can on my Super Galaxy Aggro Crag. I would also like to add some sort of DNA thing to program the cast members and townsfolk like in Little Big Planet. And who would kill for an opportunity to direct cutscenes in this game? This guy. He cooks meth. Fucking metal. It is hard to fit some cliffs under a verse. I should know. I have tried it dozens of times. Why ain't it possible to resize them? Why not make the stadium bleachers wider or connect new track pieces stemming from the one you want it to follow, like in Thrillville as developed by the dearly departed LucasArts? Something to make the development of toy box worlds a bit easier on the nerves, because we all know how grating it is to know that the scrolling ESPN banners do not come in longer varieties. Sprinkle in some minigame buildings in there, hoping to land them in the possible new creative toys in the toy vault. And terrain that have their own gravitational pull. That's another thing we'd like out of this thing. Because we all want to create our own Mario Galaxy type level around these parts, we could sure use the imitation of that game so that we can resist tossing money onto Iwata's crazy train and let it ultimately crash and burn steam. With all these new movies and TV shows for Disney to hype up like crazy, some characters from existing Infinity franchises that didn't make it to the launch pad, and a metaphorical treasure trove of IPs that need some time in the sun, there is so much Disney and only so much Avalanche to cover it, so why not engage in a real American custom?
Outsourcing.
There are several candidates for this maneuver. Take for instance Traveler's Tales, which has some history with Lucasfilm, having contributed LEGO brand video games based upon the Star Wars and Indiana Jones franchises. Obviously, with Disney's purchase of the company responsible, we would love to see them work on playsets for each recognizable franchise. In the case of Star Wars, one for each trilogy, including the new one they're getting courtesy of J.J. Abrams. Look at your figurines, back at me. It's Disney's 2D entries in its animated canon. Disney's too busy with their newest releases to let Avalanche crank out playsets or at least figurines for them. So why not let some gaming drifters develop those editions for you? It would help you attract some of the older fans to the game and make Disney a lot of new friends in the geek community. You want to be buddies with Adam Sessler, right? Morgan Webb? Blair Herter? I have done some world building in case you want to explain the magic. For starters, the toy box mode allows you to build galaxies. Okay, good so far. Say hey howdy hey to Sakai Montague. She's basically Mary Poppins if she were a hot-blooded teenager raised by Sonic the Hedgehog if he himself had the brain of the 10th Doctor. Still not good enough for you? November 23rd, 1963. Walt Disney wakes up in a cold sweat. Feels like he's a completely different person, and yet he's the same guy. Doubtless, it puts him in a secret despair that he hides with the joy of producing Mary Poppins and other films whilst secretly creating figurines out of a malleable metal known as ginguranium that he found in a meteorite during his childhood. He would continue on with this routine until his death just over 3 years afterward. It was then that he slipped into a limbo with neither heaven nor hell to comfort him, for how can one live on through a dying legacy? Until the 1980s, when that someone woke him up from his endless slumber through his dreams. That man would be known in the Metasphere as Lord Michael Eisner the Prosperous. The Metasphere is the rich and beautiful universe constructed by Walt Disney's dreams, life, and legacy upon his awakening. Inhabited by toy-like plotworks made from memories, fantasies, and personalities. Walt was crowned the Metasphere's king, and he created a queen to go along with it from his memories of being together with his wife and daughters. Entity named Kriana. Other dreamers would soon join Michael among the lords of the Metasphere, such as Frank Wells the Just, Jeffrey Katzenberg the Lively, John Lasseter the Builder, and Robert Iger the Unity. Whilst death and treachery pulled the first three lords apart in reality, there was no such threat of this in the Metasphere. They could observe the real world as much as they please to see how the company is handling itself. Recently, they have brought about a new method of expanding the Metasphere, and that is where you, the consumer, and your galaxy-building prowess comes in. If you like this little backstory, I've written a bunch of short stories with this world in mind, and I would love to bring this story to life. The problem here is, I'm stuck at college. Alrighty, up on Screw Attack style. Quick recap before we get to number 1. Number 7, unwritten characters. Number 6, better toy collection. Number 5, sexier creative toys. Number 4, more malleable toys. Number 3, outsourcing. And number 2, an epic story Walt Disney himself would write in his sleep. Seriously, if you can't come to me, then please, take me to you. Hit me up, fly me over, and let's do lunch. We'll brainstorm. Ladies and gentlemen and others, this is the definition of world synergy right there. Two sides of the world lurking together on something everyone on the planet wants so frickin' bad. Contact Tetsuya Nomura if he would like to engage in the creation of this 3-in-1 playset based upon 3 original Kingdom Hearts worlds. A toss-up between Traverse Town and the Land of Departure, Radiant Garden, and the world that never was. With my storytelling prowess and character creating skills, I can lend a hand or two to Nomura-san. I have concocted a basic plot outline for the trio of playsets that would be packed in the game's box, alongside figurines of Sora, Sakai, and Sakai's rival, the noble Prince Arrow Capulet. Yes, I have built up my universe that much. Did I mention I used to have plenty of spare time before my college days? How the hell did you think my script came out so fast, besides my travels? Disney now has a massive multiplayer crossover franchise from both sides of the world. What better time to connect the two than with the final chapter of the Xehanort saga? Oh, and trust me, I have big plans for this too. Maybe we can create a tie-in anime series that leads into the show with plenty of new characters for the Disney Infinity side of things. And when the time comes for the big debut of the Disney Infinity 3-in-1 playset pack that comes exclusively with Kingdom Hearts 3, fans will be waiting to see what further exploits await Sakai and all the gang. Just be sure to let Nomura in on the act and show him my designs. He's gonna flip his wig when he sees them. Now if you excuse me, I have a hard drive to empty. See you next season, assholes.